Hey, hey guys, what's a happening? Oh, the cooler.
Oh, I'll turn that off.
Okay, because we don't really need it.
No.
Babe's like, no, no, we don't. Oh, hello, hello. And I hope I'm live on YouTube as well because I had to put 6:05 to schedule it because I did it late. But I think that's just for them to send out the email. So everything should be okay. But you can tell me if you hear me and if all the good stuff is good. If I'm all good. If you guys could just say hey and let us know where you guys are watching from, that will be awesome. Because then I know I'm in the right place. Because I have priors for messing up. Just saying. We're
You're
good?
live on YouTube.
Okay, good. Hey, Corinne. David's checking to make sure I'm live in all the places. You guys, we went to Walmart today, and guess what I found? Dunkin' Donuts has a pumpkin spice coffee. So I'm like, yes, I'm drinking coffee this late. I took some cold medicine, and now I'm drinking a cup of coffee. So we'll see what kind of night I have. But it's pumpkin spice. It is so yummy.
No, I cannot watch on TV. What?
Do you see me on Facebook, baby?
Yeah, I'm looking for there they go.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Wait. Now I'm watching an old one. What?
What? You're all looking at me to see what I look like.
I'm serious. I clicked on it. It says live, and because I'm trying to go through two different ones.
Okay.
So
You know what, Rob? I has the donut. I know they have. We don't have a Dunkin' Donuts here, so I have to go to the grocery store and just get their coffee. You know.
there we go. There we go. Now it's you on.
Now it's me.
On YouTube because I checked YouTube on my tablet first because I only brought one set of headphones. So now I'll check Facebook on my tablet so I can hear.
Oh, maybe we should do a mug for one of our ones. While David is getting that all straightened out, you guys. So I put a post up at the beginning of the week that if anyone posted like a picture of a project using a recycled Christmas decoupage paper, that I would be raffling off 3 things tonight. So I have
You
names
sound
in
good.
my
I
bucket.
sound soft,
Do
but
you?
I'm wondering if I'm just mumbling.
Your chingadeer is pretty low on your shirt too.
All right, I'll move it up.
So we'll be doing that in a little bit. We'll be drawing, but I was just thinking, it won't be this mug, but I have some other mugs. So we'll be doing a mug, some decoupage papers, and a stencil. So those will be the 3 things that we'll be drawing for today, depending on whose name I pull out.
All right, explain the stencil though.
bucket.
Be fair.
I know the stencil it has a little burn mark on it right there, and so but I mean, oh wait, you can't see that. It has a little burn mark right there, a little flash burn. But so I'm not gonna sell it, but it's perfectly fine for a prize, right?
Right.
You guys agree with me, right?
Hey, it's free. That's my rule.
But we're gonna do that afterwards. Let's say hi to everybody so we can get going because I have a lot to cover tonight.
All right.
I feel like
so
my glasses are so grimy tonight.
on YouTube, Karen Nance says hello. Deborah Allen. Felicia Brown says cold medicine and coffee going to be a very creative night. Jean Hicks says hello from Virginia. Sandra Lomas says I'm catching you
Sandra.
live.
How are you?
Dreaming Cat Studio, are you feeling poorly, Royce? She's under the weather today, and she's much older than you. That's what she said.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I am just a little under the weather. The weekend's been interesting. Yesterday, I don't know.
I see now. I didn't think. Well,
We had that grandbaby last weekend. I blame the grandbaby for the germs.
yeah. So you might be under the weather. I'm just talked out
Yes.
because
David's
I
talked
spent the weekend announcing at events. So
Yeah.
that's where my voice comes from. Otherwise, I just saw somebody said can barely hear David. Dorothy Lage on Facebook, Joby Marshall, Misty Knight Mitchell, Joy Elizabeth Brotus from Chile, Calgary, Canada, Pamela Culp Adair, let's see, Corey Christensen. Yeah, Dorothy, the sound is a little low. We're going to try something different next week.
Oh, you know what? Let me
Boost it.
let me see if I can boost it right here, or if I had to do it before. I don't know. Oh yeah, let's try to boost it. Let's see if that's better.
All right. But next
Okay.
week we're going to try something different.
Yeah, we're gonna be fancy next week.
We invested in. I had a soundboard because I've been in radio before, but my soundboard's very old. It's more than 20 years old. So we invested in a new one for COVID, just in case
Just in case.
that I had to broadcast from my house. I never did because we never shut the studio down because radio is considered an essential service.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm alone in my studio.
Yeah.
So it was never an issue. And when I had COVID, I didn't feel up to broadcasting at all.
No.
So we've got this whole setup that we've never used, so we're going to try it next week for this.
We're gonna try our fancy setup. So now when David gets all particular about the sound, you guys, he'll have a soundboard.
That's right, and it'll be my fault.
Oh yeah, because he'll be responsible for the mix. That's right.
Charlene Samand or Samandi, I don't know how to pronounce that, from Windsor, Ontario, across the river from Detroit.
Oh.
Deborah Bucher, Jill Schneckloff Burmeister is from Iowa, but she's in Mesa tonight. Angie Champagne, Joyce Phillips Peterson, Vanessa San Antonio from San Antonio. Bella Rowe from Florida. Yeah, I know, Dorothy. We're doing our best. No, Celestine, it's not your system, it's us. Barbara Garrels, Sprinkled, Kay Travis,
Thank
Angela
you.
Keller from Wyoming, Deborah Cardle from Minnesota. David has the bedroom voice.
His voice is really low because he was the MC for the Oktoberfest and for the Harvest Fest.
Yeah.
It gets real busy around here in the fall, y'all, because here it actually gets, okay, not like Manitoba cold. I'm not saying that, but it gets cold enough that nobody wants to be outside. And then in the summer, it's like 110.
Oh, everybody says the boost worked.
Oh, okay.
So
Very good.
thank you.
And so everything is scheduled for the fall. So I think there's something every weekend until January.
All right, we have a new name, so I'm going to need some help on
Okay.
pronunciation. Soeki, Soekie, Jensen, I can do that. Vuuren, Vuren
Oh.
from South Africa.
Oh, welcome.
Hello. Von Nelson Love, try pineapple juice with lemon, warm or room temperature for 2 days. David tried the pineapple juice, but add orange juice and lemon to yours. The only thing I've heard about pineapple juice has nothing to do with voices. You don't want to know.
Stop it.
You don't want to know.
Stop it. Behave.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't want
Okay.
I'm friends
That's
with
a
these
lot
people.
of vitamin C. That's probably really good for you.
Yeah. Mine's just my voice. I'm not
Yeah.
ill. My voice will come back in 2 days. I just strained it. That's
He
all
sounds
this
like
is.
Barry Manilow. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that low.
No, not Barry Manilow.
I mean Barry
White.
I always do that.
You could not be too farther apart than Barry White and Barry Manilow.
Okay, I'll tell you guys a quick story before we get started. I know we're like past time to get started, but I do that with names all the time. So my best friend Jackie, she remembers like all these actors and who they're married to and their kids, and oh my gosh, I just can't. So we're out one night and this guy looks like, who's the one who does the acting, he wears the glasses, he does the impromptu acting.
Wow, a guy with glasses who acts.
No, the impromptu. He started like the
Improvisational?
Improvisational. Yes.
Drew Carey?
Thank you. Drew Carey. See?
Wow.
On the nose. So Drew Carey, let me
He's
finish.
a stand-up, not an improv comedian. Can I stress that?
Oh, okay. So I saw this guy in the club,
But he
and
did
looked
do
like,
improv.
No, not is it Drew Carey? He's the one who had the show, right?
He was the host of the show, yes.
Okay. And I said, "Oh, look at Drew Barrymore," and Jackie just died laughing. I'm often way off, y'all. I'm bad. But okay, I'm excited. We have a lot to get through tonight, so I'm gonna get started now.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. If you're new, my name is Royce Hunt Bell, and the very deep voice that you hear behind the camera tonight is my husband, David Bell, and together we make up Roycycled Treasures. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I always skip that part. So if you're new here, it is always a hot mess here, but we always have fun, hopefully. Hopefully we have fun. So Sunday nights are Roycycled. We hang out, we have fun, we chit chat, we craft. That's what we do here. If you guys are looking for like more succinct tutorials, you can check me out on YouTube. There are some pre-recorded videos that are like to the point and short. But tonight we chit chat. So if you're new, just know that's how it goes down. So last Sunday when I was working with the Christmas paper, I noticed there was conversations about, is that a new paper? Yes, it's new. No, it's not new. And so I thought maybe there may be some confusion. So I want to clarify a little bit. Generally, or in the past, Roycycled, we have not released the Christmas designs until like later in the year, like September, October, right? This year, we worked really hard to actually get our new Christmas designs out in June so that our makers, the people who have booths and shops and stores, would get their product in time to be able to make beautiful stuff to sell. So we do have new Christmas, but it's not like brand new. But if you were not thinking about Christmas in June, which if you didn't have a booth or something, like you would have no reason to, you may have missed it. So I wanted to quickly go through the new Christmas designs before we get started tonight, if that's okay with everybody.
And it should be noted, retailers are thinking about Christmas in like March and April.
Yes.
I mean, everybody has a different time window.
Yes.
But if you just are doing crafts because you love to do crafts, you're probably not thinking about Christmas till next week, 2 weeks, because we still got Halloween. So
this is true.
So it's understandable.
So I wanted to go through the new Christmas designs for you guys. And so if there are any Roycycled retailers who are watching tonight, please drop the links to your website where customers can find the papers. That would be awesome. I'm going to show you guys. This one was we worked with last week. But if you weren't here, I'm still going to show it. This is the Christmas Masterboard one. And this one just has different, project blocks basically on it that you can use with different size projects. I got an email from somebody, and they were like, I'm going to need you to make some, decoupage paper to fit in the IOD frames. I want to tell you guys that the papers are so full. Because you'll look at this, right, and you'll see the deer. But if you look closely, there are all kinds of bits on this design. It's not just the deer. So to me, when I look at this, I could use this in one of the frames. I could use him in a frame. I could use this little birdie in a frame. So even though there aren't like specific designs, like little designs, there are a lot of really yummy bits in all of the designs that you could theoretically use in the IOD frames. So that was one. That was a Christmas Masterboard. That one was brand new this year. And this one isn't necessarily just for Christmas, but I made it with Christmas in mind. And so this is our Angels Masterboard. And so it just has different designs with angels and with baby Jesus on there. And so you guys have been asking me for a few years for some angels. And so I did a whole masterboard of angels for you guys just in time for the holidays. Now, this one isn't necessarily just for Christmas, right? But it can certainly, you guys know how I feel about my grain sacks. So this one can be like a really nice stand-in or staple all year round, but it can certainly be a really lovely background for a lot of your transfers and stuff. Or even just it by itself for Christmas. Were you gonna say something, babe?
I was gonna say, don't you have a green one like that too?
A green? No, I don't have a green one. I have like a neutral, my black ticking that you're tired of.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
That one's all year round.
That's what I thought.
And that one is too, right? It can be all year round. And if there are any questions, babe, be sure and let me know.
Well, Jenny Marmion just became a Wise Owl retailer thanks to you.
Oh, congratulations,
she says hello,
Miss
thank
Jenny.
you. Trisha Garrett is watching.
Hey, Trisha Garrett.
And they're getting ready for their Christmas makeover.
Oh, they're set. They're going to do the whole reset of the store.
Yeah, Cotton and Copper Lifestyle.
Yes.
I hope I got it that right. I always get the cotton and the copper.
Okay, Trisha, tell it.
Backwards.
Is it copper and cotton or cotton and copper? One of the two is the new.
They're getting ready to do their Christmas reset.
I know. Trisha, I need to send you pictures of stuff I want to bring to the store Tuesday. But anyways, so this one is our watercolor. Oh, I forgot what this one is called because this isn't the watercolor Christmas. But this one we have doves and some Christmas flowers that just slipped my mind right now. I can't think of them. And reindeer. And really, these are meant to be like fussy cut and used individually. And they can be super fun in a lot of different things. I posted a picture of a project that Lexi did last week, a wreath. What do you call these flowers, baby?
Poinsettias?
Poinsettias, thank you. I couldn't remember the name. Oh man, did I forget the one? And there's another watercolor one that only has poinsettias and ornaments. And of course, I grabbed two of the same ones and I didn't get the other one. So I apologize. There is another watercolor one that only has poinsettias and Christmas ornaments and snowflakes on it.
So Amy Betcher, I know I ask you each week. I'll remember how to pronounce. Look, it took me about 6 months to get Booker. So,
yes.
So please. Said store owners are buying Christmas in January. Markets start January 4th. Dorothy Leish started her first Christmas project today.
Ooh.
Debbie Kirkwood Thompson, I started thinking about Christmas projects in July. Sherry Spade Benhart, I'm listening with my earbuds while I work a haunted house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna do a haunted house in the big building, Sherry? I'm nosy now. This one is called Christmas Trees. And this is super cute. This is by Corey Dantini, is the artist who did this design for us. Okay, I'll show you guys. So there's 4 Santas across the top. Oh my. And if you guys are brand new, these sheets are 20-inch by 30-inch and they're made with 18-pound tissue paper. And the bottom, you guys can see, it's just like a Christmas village. Super cute. It's a repeat. And so you guys can use that like however you want, really. I've seen some super cute stuff. For those of you who drop projects in the comments for the contest, I saw some super cute stuff done with that one. And Corey did a couple of Christmas designs for us this year. And any of you who quilt, you probably already know Corey Dantini's work because she's like super popular in the fabric world.
Sandy Holtzmiller is saying is telling us we're saying it wrong. It's poinsettia.
You guys know what? Last year y'all hammered me about the peonies, but everybody says you say, is it pennies? Is it peonies? Is it peonies? I think it depends on like where you live.
Here's the deal. There's roses and then there's all the other flowers.
And so, but yeah, so those are the 2 Santas. So those are for larger projects that you can make with those. I'm going to try to go faster because I want to get through 3 projects tonight. I'm going to do it. I'm like I'm organized tonight. And for those who entered projects for the contest, I'm going to do 3 drawings tonight. And so I'm going to do 2 sets of Christmas decoupage paper. So if you entered a project, you have a chance to win more Christmas decoupage paper tonight too. So and this one,
oh, you got all the names in the bucket.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I went through and copy and pasted everybody's name to make sure I got them. Because if I write them down.
So the stencil is for a comment and the papers are for.
No, everything is for the contest.
Everything is
3
for the
drawings.
contest. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted there to be good odds that people would win.
Gotcha.
So this one is super cute. You have 2 Santas and this super cute Christmas tree, right? And then on the bottom, again, you know, there's it's a repeat, so you could use it as a pattern, but I scaled it large enough that you could use them as individual gifts for smaller projects if you wanted.
There is, I'm really going to date myself now. There's a comedian called Lenny Bruce, long passed away, and a controversial comedian, but today we wouldn't think so because the things he said today would not be controversial.
Okay.
Things like we should all love each other, you know, and racism is stupid.
Yes.
But we're talking about the late 50s, early 60s. He was on the cutting edge. Well, somebody animated one of his things where he made fun of the Lone Ranger. And it's called Thank You, Masked Man. And if you get a chance, look it up. I believe it's on YouTube. Look, there's a little bit of salty content, not necessarily words, but
a little racy.
If you're really devout.
Is this relevant to what we're doing right now?
Because the style is the same as the Santa, the way they illustrated the
Oh,
people.
okay.
Some of the people have the same pointy
Oh,
feet
on
of,
the illustration.
yeah. And every
Okay.
time I look at that, all I want to do is go, thank you, Math Man, because that's how they say it.
So I know I'm forgetting some. I was running around like a crazy person for the Christmas release for this year. So those were the newer Christmas designs. And I know we have some people here who are new. So I did want to make sure and go through some of these were last year's, but the retailers still have these. And so, because we made them available again, so you guys will have a lot of choices. So this is our fine art project block. And this is a lot of fine art pieces on this one. I'm trying to get through fast. I didn't think this was going to take me this long. I'm going to do a couple more.
Jessie Lanier says, I love Corey Dantini. Her shower curtain in her guest bathroom is by Corey.
See? Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of fabric stuff. I think I saw a bedspread by her with her art on it. This one is super cute, you guys. This is an old one, but a lot of the retailers probably have this in stock. And so there are a lot of options. I'm not going to go through all of them because I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to show one more just because it's one of my favorites. And then we're going to get to the project tonight, you guys. But if you're looking for decoupage paper for Christmas, be sure and chat with your Roycycled retailer because I bet you they have something that you're going to love. This one is super fun because it has the little elves on there. Some people think they're creepy. I think they're super cute. And our birds. And of course, you guys know I had to have Santa and a Zeppelin because, you know, steampunk. And then we have a different kind of an angel on there. So there are a lot of options for Christmas. We have watercolor, we have vintage, we have fun and quirky Christmas. So make sure you guys touch base with your recycled retailers. Oh man,
And
I'm trying to fold these up right because I gotta send them out for the prizes.
so, speaking of retailers, if you have any of the old papers, Wendy Kahn is looking for one. Last year, can't remember the name, had an angel and fairies.
Yeah, that was the one I just held up right there.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, that one. And
She said she loved that paper.
yeah, see, I love the fairies personally, right? But remember at Pinners, because we used that paper at Pinners, and some people said it was creepy, and some people really liked them.
Those aren't creepy fairy or creepy
I don't think they're creepy.
elves, right? Those are elves.
You just can't say that somebody else's opinion doesn't matter, though. So if they think
I
it's
guess.
creepy,
Yeah, you're right. If it's creepy to you, it's creepy.
it's creepy to them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use some holiday design. So I have 3. I wanted to do, I know that during the holidays, some of us who are crafty, we love sharing our gift with our friends and family. So whether you're going to have grandkids over for the holidays or you want to do something with your girlfriends or your kids, these are 3 super simple projects that you can do with your kids that will be really fun, or with anybody. Because, you know, we crafty people have a lot of friends who aren't particularly crafty. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But they like to make stuff during the holidays. So this is stuff that you can do and you won't have to be frustrated.
So you don't get that ornament with all the glue on the pipe cleaner? You know, when they try to be crafty and
yeah.
they can't. And
Well, if I get it from the kids, it goes on the tree. It doesn't matter.
well, yeah, that's the kids.
But you want the adults to be successful.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
You do. And they can't without your help.
I know. This is an example. You guys know how we're talking about the frames mold from IOD. So this is one of the frames from IOD. This is the second frame mold. It has like larger ones, and I just plucked the crow out of that Halloween paper. So even though this wasn't made for the frame, I was still able to use a piece of decoupage paper in there. So just wanted to talk about that. So for tonight's projects, look, it's already 9:24. I have 3 projects that we're gonna do. Let's do the zipper one first.
Wendy Kahn says that wasn't the paper. It was a different one from last year. So check with the retailers, Wendy.
Yeah, check with the retailers because you know what? I was running around like a crazy person trying to find everything in my stash tonight.
TD Woodall says she's got everything.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Check with T. She has it all. Creepy gnomes. This little zippered bag, it's just like a little canvas zippered bag. You guys, these are on Amazon. I found them for super inexpensive. I think it's like $1.50 or $2 a piece, something really inexpensive like that. So we did a fabric project last week together, right? Which I didn't finish, but I did want to show you guys. So last week we decoupaged this together, the decoupage paper, and it's all dried. And I just wanted to show you guys, like, because I know some of you don't believe me. Like, I can crumple this up and look, like, we're Gucci, we're golden. I can fold it. I mean, I'm sure I can't like rub it around, but you know, if you make something like this for somebody for a gift, they'll be able to reuse it for a long time. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. This is the bag that we decoupaged last week. I still have to finish it though. I haven't had a chance to come into my laboratory this week. So I went ahead and prepped this one, and all I did was I did one layer of the fabric Mod Podge in full strength. And then you guys remember last week when I did the second layer and I kind of thinned it out a little bit. So that's all I've done, and it's completely dry. And I did it just like an hour ago, right, for this. So now I'm gonna lay a piece of decoupage paper over this and we're gonna iron that on. So I'm gonna turn on my little mini press here. And this is just the Cricut mini press is what I have here on my workbench. If you guys take a look in my Amazon shop, it's listed on there. If you're looking for the link to my Amazon shop, if you put hashtag Amazon, capital A, in the comments, you'll get a message from Facebook with the link in there. So now I have to just decide which paper I'm going to use on this. So last week we talked a little bit about pinners. The pinners conference is coming up November 11th and 12th, and we are prepping for that in addition to all the other things. And so for the make and takes in our booths, this is what we'll be doing. These are like, what do you call this? They're woven little zippers, and we'll be decoupaging them. And so just to think, when you do projects like this, you can use your scraps, you guys. This is actually a portion of Lexi's Fox, the decoupage paper, but I just liked just the look of it. And so it still looks like it's just like a design on there, right? Even though it's just a piece of a decoupage paper, because the backgrounds have so much information in there.
Real quick, it's not hashtag capital A, it's hashtag Amazon.
Yes.
Somebody put hashtag capital A.
Yeah, it's hashtag capital A MAZON. I'm sorry, clarify. Yeah. And so you guys can see that I can bend this and everything and it's fine, right? So these are super fun. So we're gonna do that on this piece, but I kind of wanted to use a scrap piece of paper. So let me get a piece that I've already cut. We have our Christmas masterboard that we started using last week. This would be a super fun project with like girlfriends or with your daughter, or if you have your daughters and their friends who want to come over and do a project. I think I'm gonna use this piece right here.
Oh. Mom, do I have to? Oh, Mom.
If it's cool stuff, they'll want to do it.
I know. And they'll walk around and they'll go back to school and everybody say, where'd you get that? And every parent knows.
Yes.
You just got to get them to the table.
Yes. And then once they're there, we had a young lady at the wine festival year before last, and her mom insisted that she come and participate, and she just was not having it. But then when she made her thing, she was super proud of it. So it's just funny.
Rightly so. She did a great job.
Did I cut that too short? No, I did not. Yes, I did. I cut it too short. Well, dag nabbit. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do it this way. I am not throwing this piece of paper away. So the one thing about the bags is that you do want to, we can't cheat, right? We can't just sand it off. So we kind of have to be more mindful. And I'm going to use the same trick though. Just kind of run my fingers along the edges. And it's going to score my paper just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in and trim it. And if I don't trim it close enough, I can always come back in and trim it with my scissors. But when I'm doing the iron-on decoupage on fabric, I do try to trim it as close as possible.
Everyone, if you wouldn't mind, a like and a share, we would appreciate that.
Yes, please and thank you.
And on YouTube, if you can give us a like and hit the subscribe, we would appreciate that too.
And on YouTube, if you subscribe, you'll get an alert before we go live. It's an email alert, but it's still an alert.
No, you have to sign up for alerts, don't you?
I think if you're subscribed, you'll get one.
No, because there's a bunch I subscribe to.
Oh.
And because mainly I don't want alerts from theirs.
Yeah.
Because it's goofy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But if you want alerts, you have to actually hit the bell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hit the bell if you want to get alerts. I'm sorry. You're right, baby. You're absolutely right. So I am spending more time than I usually do, really trimming this because I know once
Carmen's
I iron
on.
it down.
Hi, Carmen.
Hey, Carmen. Okay.
And Cassandra Smith. We got Carmen and Cassandra just joined.
Carmen and Cassandra. Hello, ladies.
And Dorothy Lage is covering our flank on what the papers are.
Thank you, Dorothy.
She's wonderful.
I remember when Dorothy first moved here, I met her for lunch at Genevieve's. Well, I don't know if it was when she first moved here, but it's when she first started watching me, I think.
Yes, Dorothy's been, because I met Dorothy before you did.
Oh.
I was, when I was the editor of the Wilcox newspaper, and I met Dorothy and her husband when they were discussing how to handle, it wasn't the wine festival, I think it was the birding festival that they do. Wings over Wilcox.
Oh, yeah, there was a big old...
And Dorothy cares about her community. She wants to make sure that everything's done right, and that's the first time I met her.
Yes. So this is just parchment paper, you guys, not wax paper. Very important, it's parchment paper. So I'm going to use the parchment paper to put over my project while I iron. And this is going to protect my paper to make sure I don't burn it, right? So I have my paper positioned exactly where I want it, right? And now I'm going to just iron over the top of it. This is such a fun project. You do want to make sure that you get like a canvas bag. Like you don't want plastic, right? Because then you'll be doing other stuff. You'll be melting other stuff. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, crafting is fun when the whole family does it. It's not fun when the fire department joins in.
No, we don't want that. Now, of course, if you had little ones, you would have to supervise this portion, but there isn't anything that I've done so far that's super hard though, right? They trim it to size and, you know, just paint on the fabric Mod Podge and then you just iron it on.
Pam Rogers, no, the decoupage paper is not on Amazon. It is only sold through small businesses, through entrepreneurs.
Yes, we, the Roycycled brand is dedicated to supporting small businesses. And so the paper is only available through approved retailers. And look at that, you guys.
But they are available across the globe.
They are. We have retailers in the US, the Canada, UK, Australia, I think Germany.
Germany, Spain? Wasn't there, didn't I see one in Spain?
I don't know.
Portugal. No, there wasn't it Portugal?
Don't put me on the spot, baby.
I haven't looked at the list for a little while.
Because I know we had an applicant, but I wasn't sure what had happened. And so I'm just going through and making, you know, some final trims now that I've ironed it down. And how cute is that, you guys? How fun is that? And so now I have this really personalized bag. I am going to go around again just to make sure all my edges are down, and then I'm going to seal this.
On YouTube, Debbie For God says, which brand is your mini iron?
This is a Cricut. It's the Cricut brand. I don't know. I mean, I haven't tried the other brands. Sometimes brands matter and sometimes they don't. But I use this one and I love it.
Maxine Penny, I would love to have the names of the retailers in Canada.
You know what, Maxine? If you go to roycycled.com, this is my website. There is actually a list of retailers, and if you click, and when you go to the list, they're actually organized by location. So you can click on Canada, and you'll see the list of retailers that are there in
Colleen
Canada.
Kobialka is watching. So Colleen?
Yes.
Colleen's our Canadian.
She's our distributor for
the Commonwealth nations, not just Canada.
And so just as a side note, you guys, I do have some paper inside of here to protect it so that it doesn't bleed through to the other side. So I'm going to do a quick coat. So after I get it ironed down, I do want to go over with another coat of the Mod Podge. I always forget something. I forgot to get plates.
You need me to run?
No. Oh, no. There's some right here.
Well, there's some used ones over here.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I have, because I'm always doubling and tripling up, so.
Let's see. Jill Schnikoloff, Burmeister. I got a phone call, Miss Part of this. What did you use before you put the paper down and ironed? Which is what you're doing right now.
Yeah. I used the fabric Mod Podge is what we're using tonight. for our decoupage medium. And so when I go over the top, I don't want to do like a really thick clumpy layer. And so I like to thin mine out. So I'm just going to put it here on my plate. And this is how I do it. You guys can do it probably, you know, better than this, but just to thin it out so that it's not so thick, because I feel like then you'll end up with like a really thick shiny layer, which I don't like, but maybe you do. And if you do, then it's a non-issue. But I like to water it down so that I put a nice thin layer, and then I'll do a final layer of varnish over the very top of this.
And Pam Dudley, yes, that is a cloth clutch.
Yeah, it's just duck fabric.
To be cloth.
You don't want it to be plastic, because then you'll melt the plastic. That'll be no bueno.
So may I ask a question?
Yes.
Which I had and has now left my head. Is this the only part of crafting? Because crafting is a big giant world.
Yes. Where
you use the same product to prime as you do to seal. I'm amazed by that. The fact that you use the same stuff to do a base coat, then you do whatever you're going to do, and then you use it again and it seals. Other than, obviously, if you're doing something that's going to be like food service, use a completely different sealer for that.
And even this, I'm going to use a varnish as a final sealer over the top of it. Yeah. I mean, that's decoupage, babe.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's the whole premise, is that you can glue something down and seal, glue paper down in general and seal it, although you can decoupage with fabric as well.
I think that's really kind of cool because it saves you money.
Yes.
You only have to buy one product depending.
Yes, depending on what you're doing. If you're decoupaging furniture, you definitely want to follow up with
You have to, I mean,
a varnish.
The sealant has to be appropriate to its use.
Yes.
But, you know, I'm looking at the window frame with the ravens there. Mm-hmm. Your which, by the way, a Halloween project.
That was last year's Halloween project. I know, it's still there.
But I just think it's kind of cool that you know, the average person only has to buy one product.
Yes, to be able to do
this. You know, you can get away with buying a sheet of paper and whatever your choice is, Mod Podge, Wise Owl.
If you have varnish on your, as long as it's a water-based product, you'll be good to go.
So I think that's all. That's my non-crafter question.
And so I'm just putting a thin layer of Wise Owl varnish over the top of this, you guys, just as kind of to make me feel better about it lasting. And that's it. And so now, you know, you have this super cool clutch. Like, wouldn't this be a fun project to do with like your daughters or granddaughters? And this little clutch, like, even if you don't wear makeup, you can put your contact stuff in here. Maybe you can put your pencils if you like to sketch when you're traveling. Super cute. And so that's project number 1. What time? Oh, it's 6:38. I am on fire.
So, Pam Dudley had asked a question. I got to find her original one.
Yes. And I'm sorry if I'm sniffing in you guys' ear. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, she wants to know if you sell the clutches on your website.
I don't, but legit, if they're not in my Amazon shop, I will put them in there for you guys, because you can order them and they're super inexpensive, I promise.
But a way to get one is to join us at Pinners.
If you're coming to Pinners, then you can not only get a clutch, but you can come and hang out in my booth and we will make it together. I'm super excited about Pinners. We're only a few weeks out now, so we're like down to the nitty gritty.
Pam Rogers, is it washable?
No, I mean, you can wipe it, but I would not throw this in the washer. I'm going to be honest with you. So it's not something that I can throw in the washing machine, but you could definitely wipe this off though. And if you decoupage both sides, that would all you would need to do, right?
And that answers Mindy Hogan Cassidy's question, can you do both sides?
You can. Just make sure that you put parchment paper in between when you do the other side. And you may reactivate your adhesive on this side, so you may want to put some parchment paper like on your workspace.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. So if I were doing the other side, I would put a piece of parchment paper down and then put another piece of parchment in there and then do the other side. You know what I'm saying? So that it doesn't stick together and it doesn't stick to your workspace. But
all right. Everybody loves the clutch. The clutch is on Amazon. By the end of tonight, it'll be in Royce's
In my shop,
in
yes.
our shop, and just hashtag Amazon to get the link to Royce's shop.
Yes. So that's project number 1. Super cute. Your girlfriends, your granddaughters. If you have a shop and you're doing like a girls' night out to get people into the shop to shop, this would be a super cute project. Just
And
saying.
fast.
Yeah. Lickety split, right? Lickety split.
So we have a question before you go on to craft number 2. Where is Pinners and when?
The Pinners Conference is November 11th and 12th, and it's in Scottsdale, Arizona at Westworld. You can go. I think I took the automation off.
Did you? I thought you had hashtag Pinners.
I did, but I took it off to make room for hashtag Amazon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I only get 4.
Okay.
If you just Google Arizona Pinners, Pinners, then you'll find the information. So if there's anybody who's watching and they don't know what the Pinners Conference is, I'm sorry, I'm starting in the middle of the story, but the Pinners Conference, imagine being on Pinterest, but being in real life. So the admission for Pinners is super affordable. I think it's like $10.
I remember last year it being really low.
It is. It's like $10 to get in. There are like, last year we had a little bit over, it's not my event, but there were like a little over 300 vendors, and there are all kinds of vendors. So there's crafting, and when I say crafting, I mean all the things. There might be macrame, there might be decoupaging, there could be painting.
There was a lot of yarn. I saw just a ton of yarn last year.
Yes. There could, anything that you would go look for on Pinterest.
Beading, there was scrapbooking,
They were throwing clay, and then there's clothes, and there's makeup, and there's hair, and there's cooking. And there are classes like all day. There are constantly classes. So you can sign up for like tons of classes. It's super fun. There were groups of ladies who traveled from the Midwest every year to come to Arizona Pinners.
Well, it's November.
I know. They come here. The weather's nice, and they get to hang out at Pinners all day and
they
have
get to
fun.
do what they love and not freeze.
Yes.
What a bargain.
So it's a lot of fun, and all the vendors do things a little different. For us, it's really about connecting with people. So we do make and takes in our booth all day. I love introducing decoupage. We had a lot of people who came who never decoupaged or who haven't decoupaged since they were like little girls with their grandmothers. And so
we did have one gentleman decoupage. Didn't he do it with his wife?
We did. We had one gentleman who did decoupage with his wife.
He was a good man.
Yes. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So our next project, let's do this one.
One more time. Felicia Brown on YouTube. If you only do one side of the clutch, it would be a good idea to seal the other side so it's also wipeable.
Yeah, that's true. You could cheat and spray it with like some Scotch Guard or something like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right.
So this is so cute. I'm sorry. I'm all happy with myself. And even though I put it on sideways, you really can't tell, right? I think the clutch is like the perfect size because you can basically put anything on there and it'll look purposeful. And if you're doing this like in your shop, like for a make and take, you could pre-cut these to make it even faster, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put that over there, and the next project I'm gonna be using my iron again, you guys, but I'm gonna be using it in a different way. These are just some regular like wood, balsam wood probably, or what's that white wood? You guys know what I'm saying. That you can buy. You can find these. These are actually already in my Amazon shop, but we're gonna use Saran wrap to decoupage these. So I'm just using regular plastic wrap. You guys see, I have my Great Value brand for everything. I'm a bargain shopper.
Tamiko Williams on YouTube asks if anybody can post where there's a retailer in Florida.
Yeah, if there's anybody here from Florida, if you can put your post, we do have actually several retailers in Florida.
She's in Sarasota, so she's hoping to find clothes.
Yeah. If you go to Roycycled.com and look on the retailers list, you'll see Florida on there, and there'll be a list of retailers under Florida so that you can find the person closest to you. And if you don't have someone near you, like 99.5% of the retailers do ship. So if you don't have someone close to you, reach out to your closest retailer, and I'm sure they'll take care of you.
I did not craft at Pinners, Melissa Paget. I crafted on Sunday night on Chattin and Craftin.
Yeah, it was Chattin and Craftin that he.
But I did not decoupage or craft at Pinners.
I
was a hype man, baby. I was out there.
I know. His job was to get people into the booth because, you know, there's a lot to see. People are distracted, so we had to catch their attention. I am going to use, let me move this out of the way for just a second.
I was selling, baby.
Huh?
I
just feel like I am sniffling. I am so sorry, you guys. This is how...
You missed the first night of our busy weekend here in the Valley, not feeling 100%. You came out yesterday. But...
Yeah, no, I had a headache all day, so I was at home.
So
apparently I have sinus issues since I've had COVID that I did not have before.
I'm going with the tired.
Just tired?
Well, because we've both been just really goofy tired.
We have
unusually tired.
I know.
So I'm assuming that's our what do you call it? The thing that you get after the thing.
Oh, I don't know.
There's a not symptom,
our lingering.
Yeah, the malingering.
And
silliness.
so this is my second one, and this is how I'm figuring out where to cut, you guys.
When
somebody is looking,
November,
going, no, she's wasting that whole piece of paper. I know, but I wanna see my little fairies inside of here. I think they're gonna be super cute. So I will tell you guys a little bit about the process that we're going to use right now. I'm actually going to use this saran wrap as if it was an adhesive, right? So I'm going to use it on here. This process is super fun. I do love it. It works really well and you get no wrinkles. But I have found that it really only works well with smaller projects, not with larger projects for some reason. So that's my kind of disclaimer.
On YouTube, Sandra Lomas, when is Pinners? November 11th and 12th.
Yes. Just a few more weeks. It feels like it's tomorrow.
So Friday, Saturday. So, unfortunately, I think this is the last Pinners of the year, correct?
Yes. Arizona is the last one, the Sayonara.
Yeah. But if you can't make it to Arizona, which we'd love to see you in November, there's Pinners all over the country.
Yes. They start over on the east side. In the east side, and they make their way over here because they're in Utah the week before they're here.
So I think they're based out of Utah, aren't they?
I don't know, baby. Don't start me the line.
I could have sworn when I chatted with the organizer.
I think you're right, though, that they were out of Utah.
Which
that
I'm
would
surprised.
Make sense. They would like end the season at home.
Yeah, I'm yes, but I would think they'd want to do Utah last and Arizona next to last. But
oh, I see what you're saying.
But I'm guessing maybe they're north, so maybe they're too cold up there and they want to be warm too.
Maybe.
So,
so you guys, just so we're clear about the order of things here, I've already taken the liberty of painting these white. I didn't think you guys need to watch me do that, right? So I always paint white under my decoupage because I like for it to be bright so my images really show. And then the next thing I did was put a piece of plastic down, which is actually going to act as my adhesive. And then I put the tissue on top of the plastic. And so I have this piece of parchment paper that I'm putting over the top, right, just to protect my paper from the heat of the iron. And I'm going to go over this with my little mini Cricut. And I love my mini Cricut because it gets really hot. Like, you got to be careful. If you have this in your workshop, make sure you don't have no elbows or nothing that's going to touch it because it will jack you up.
All right, we have a question.
Yes.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, does it matter if the plastic wrap has wrinkles on it before you iron?
Very good question. Thank you. I try to get all the wrinkles out before I iron so I can get a nice flat finish.
Melissa Paget, I tried the saran wrap process. Agree, smaller is better.
Yes.
So
I tried it on a larger project and for some reason it just doesn't work the same. I don't know. It's weird. You would think it would.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. But this is a really nice way to get through a lot of small projects, right? Or even if you just use the regular iron-on method that we did earlier with the little clutch.
On YouTube, Nancy Crippen, I'm going to try and come to Pinners. Sounds like fun. It is. You have to stop by the booth and take photos.
Yes. We do lots of selfies. We did last year.
Yes.
You guys, I want to show you guys something. So I have this irregular shape, and if I try to sand it right here, I'm going to end up tearing that. So I'm just going to cut like a little, what do you call it when you sew, when you do those? I know somebody sews in here. They know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to clip it so that the paper can move freely and I don't end up tearing it rather than getting a nice clean breakaway.
Joellen McCartney asks, can you use a regular iron?
You can use a regular iron, absolutely. Just make sure you don't have any steam in your iron. You want it to be dry when you use it.
How about low or high heat? Does that matter?
You want it, so for the clutch, you would use like cotton. But for this process, I would put it on like linen. You know, you want it to be pretty warm.
Okay. Oh, they're all saying it's called a dart cut or a relief cut.
A dart. That's what I was thinking was a dart.
And Pam Dudley asks, can you get the mini Cricut on Amazon?
You can. If you put hashtag Amazon, you'll get a message with the link to my shop, and I have the mini Cricut listed in there. And how cute is that, right, you guys? And how fun would this be? To me, this would be really fun with the kids, right? Because you could pre-cut these. And again, if you have little ones, you would have to do the ironing for them. Or you could just supervise really closely, you know, if you have like a 10, 11, 12-year-old. Or, I mean, if you're just a group of you adults doing projects together, that would be super fun. But it absolutely is adhered. And then I'm going to follow up with some varnish just to seal my paper and make sure to get the holes out, you guys. You just punch them out. I don't have my little tool here. Just punch them out. I mean, because this one has like cute little holes and you want to keep those. So you can just punch those out and go in with your sanding paper, and you just kind of clean them up the same way. And I would honestly, usually, like when I'm doing kits like this, I put an emery board in there because it's kind of easier. Although this part is easier with actual piece of sandpaper, because you know you can get in between those little pieces and really sand that paper out of them. And I'm going to take some of my Wise Owl. I think there's 1 hour enamel in this bottle. I'll be honest, y'all. I don't know what's in here because I didn't mark it. I lie to myself all the time and say I'm going to remember. But I use a lot of 1 hour enamel, so I'm pretty sure that's what's in there. So I'm just going to seal this with my varnish, and then it is good to go. And that is project number 2. Told you guys, super fun, quick, and easy projects tonight.
Jill Burmeister, make yourself some elderberry syrup. Start taking it to stay healthy through the cold and flu season. I've used it for 2 years now. Been cold and flu free.
Do you have grandbabies? Because I told you guys last Sunday, I said, I already know, because Damar had the sniffles last weekend.
Yeah,
I knew.
Yeah.
I already knew. When I used to teach Awanas at church, you guys, and for the first year, I legitimately thought there was something wrong with me. I was like, I do not get sick this often. I'm going to have to make a doctor's appointment and see what's going on with me because my immune system is just like not good this year. What I didn't know is that all those little babies with their cuteness bring germs to church every Sunday.
Oh, they're germ factories.
I know. Like legit, I was sick for like a whole year and then I was fine.
Yeah.
After that. But
Lisa Vanshill asks, are you bringing the faux fireplace to Pinners?
I am. We're working on it. It's right there. Look, baby.
I know.
I know. See, David doesn't think I need to bring all that stuff, but anybody who was at Pinners last year, you guys tell my husband that my booth stood out because it didn't look like everyone else's. Tell him.
Pam Dudley asked, do you sell the wood ornaments on your Amazon store?
Those are on my Amazon store, yes. The wood ornaments are already listed on there, and so you can find those there. And then we have one more project. What time is it? Bam! I'm on fire tonight. Ooh.
Pamela Culpadare, can you do the back also?
The ornament, yeah, you could. You could do both sides. That would be fun because then if it spins around on the tree, it would look good from either side. Or you could paint the back with a metallic and you could even, so I'm stopping here tonight because we're trying to make it through multiple projects, right? But let's just say I was in my craft room. I could put some molds on here, put some other stuff on here. I wouldn't have to stop right here, right? Or I could have just decoupaged the circle and I could have painted this top portion with the metallic. So there's always options, but there's all kinds of options for...
You could pre-do molds that the kids can then glue on.
Oh yeah, that would be super fun. I did that, remember? Because Carmen gave me that idea to use playing cards. Remember I did the make and takes that Heath Valley made when they had that grand opening? And I had a bucket full of molds and people were able to glue them on their cards and paint them.
Melissa Paget says, I forgot, how do I sprinkle?
There should be a little arrow to the right of your comments. Yes, if you guys would please share and like and share, that would be awesome. So our last project, you guys.
Okay, before we jump, because we still have questions. See, I'm playing catch up. You got to remember, we're here, they're there, and they're
baby,
behind.
go ahead.
This is the what is it called?
David got y'all back.
It's the Doppler effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Doppler effect.
You see it before you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny Marmion, is there one that you prefer for decoupaging, 1 hour enamel or varnish?
You can use either one, Jenny. The varnish is fine. I do find that I prefer the 1 hour enamel when I'm like layering different things. So if I'm going to decoupage a surface and then I'm going to go over it with transfers, I prefer the 1 hour enamel because the transfers adhere to the 1 hour enamel so readily.
Let's see. Vicky Wolf Lawson, first live. There you go.
Welcome, Vicky.
She's already learned new tricks. Yay. Sherry Spade Benhart. They are little petri dishes. Yes. Alyssa Visithan's husband used to coach Awana too. I'm looking for questions. Jenny Marmon, I taught K-12 reading. Learned the hard way how germy they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
She knows. She just retired from teaching. You guys see that though already? I mean, seriously.
Deborah Booker. Come on now, Deborah. Your booth was beautiful last year. It's your brand.
See? Deborah's on my side. Make sure you read all the comments of people on my side.
Jill Burmeister, your booth did stand out. I came to see you, had no trouble finding your booth. Let's see. Patty Guinup Mitchell, your pinner's booth was beautiful last year. And then Beverly Bain, where do you get 1 hour enamel?
You can find 1 hour enamel at roycycled.equid.com. I have the Wise Owl 1 hour enamel. Or if you find one of the retailers who are carrying Roycycled, like Jenny Marmion, they may have the 1 hour enamel as well. Because I don't sell directly, which I know is frustrating for some of you guys, but I don't like the idea of positioning myself to compete against my retailers. And so I just really support them. Were there any more questions, baby?
No, I'm just doing the equid.com.
Okay, thank you.
No, but we had another first timer that I want to acknowledge because we always like that. Laura Taylor is a first time viewer.
Hi, Laura.
So
welcome
hello.
Welcome to
first
the madness.
live. She says first live.
Welcome to the madness, girl. So this is just a little bamboo like chopping board. I don't know though, but it has this on there. Maybe that's to hang in the kitchen so that you know where your chopping board is. I don't know. I found this at the thrift store. Now I know what you guys are thinking, Royce, why would you pick something from the thrift store that we cannot all go out and buy? What had happened was, or what I was thinking was, yes, this is from the thrift store. I paid 75 cents for it, but they have little chopping boards at Dollar Tree that look a lot like this. They're little bamboo chopping blocks at the Dollar Tree. And if you go to dollartree.com, you can actually buy them in bulk. So, or $1.25 tree now, I guess. So even though I picked this one at the thrift store, you guys can still do a similar project with Dollar Tree or $1.25 tree chopping boards. And I'm trying to find something fabulous that I can use. Hold on one second. And this is why when I make the master boards, I like creating different sizes because depending on what you're doing, you need different size paper, right?
I always feel bad for folks because they're coming on a little late. They're, it just came up in their feed.
Yes.
So they're like, wait, did you decoupage a handbag? Yes.
I did. Yeah. You'll have to watch the replay. It was fun. So I'm gonna use the bird paper. Wait, I've been wanting to use this mousse though.
So we've done 2 projects in an hour.
We have. I'm telling you, your wife is on fire tonight.
I'm reiterating for everybody who's just joining. These are super simple, super fast projects that you could do with anybody, somebody who's never done a project before.
Yes.
If they come over to your house or they visit or you got the grandkids or the kids, make your adult children do this. Make them. They will look at you and go, oh, Mom.
The last time we went to Phoenix, I was 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the
My
kids.
nieces.
Yeah.
Well, one niece and one nephew crafted with me. One niece started with me, but she was out. She was deuces. She didn't stay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
And
cut
her
this one
sister-in-law,
out.
so
Yes, and Miss Sonia.
yeah.
Sonia
So
was easy to convince, though.
I know.
The girls, not so much. Edward's artistic. I think he was probably.
Oh, I knew he was all in because
Yes.
that young man has got an eye. That's just fantastic.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my mousse out, you guys, and get rid of all this extra paper. But I always look at where I'm cutting. I don't want to cut anything like yummy and ruin it because I can use it for something else, right?
Kim Sprato. I have to watch the replay. I got up to make tea and I missed the whole plastic wrap part.
What? I know, because anyways, I just thought, I always do complicated stuff, but the holidays are coming. So we want stuff we can do with the kiddos. So for this one, you could absolutely do the iron-on method with this one, just like we did for the chingadair, the purse, right? But I'm going to do regular decoupage because I wanted to do 3 different things and show how to do decoupage 3 different ways.
Colleen Kolbialka says in Canada, it's Dollarama. Everything is $3 and up.
$3? That's not a dollar store.
Well, that seems inconvenient too because Canada has the dollar coin and the $2 coin, and then you jump to the $5 bill.
Oh, well, you got to bring your coins.
Well, the $3 just seems inconvenient. I'd rather just throw down a toonie.
Oh. I don't know.
They
did not ask us our opinion, baby.
I know.
When they were making
I have
stuff.
a feeling they really don't care what Americans have to say about how they do business, and I don't blame them.
So this one, I trimmed it super close, you guys. So I am like just right. The good thing is, sometimes I should have cut it a little short. I'm going to cut it a little short. I'm going to show you guys something. Since we're doing teachable moments here, I don't want to go too short though. Let me turn it around to my right hand.
All right, on YouTube, Cheryl Atkinson, been working with all your Christmas papers, making signs and stuff for her booth. And Michelle Threlkeld, first live, fallen in love with the papers and would like to find out about how to be a retailer.
Oh, you know what? On the bottom of my website, there is a super easy form. Just fill it out and submit it, and we'll send you all the information about becoming a retailer.
TD Woodall suggests wrapping it around.
No, I'm going to show you guys a trick. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut this short on purpose. They're like, what is she doing? Oh my gosh. I mean, I could wrap it around T, but I want clean edges, and I'll probably use a foam roller and roll on like a dark color around the edges so it looks finished is what I'm thinking. But I wanted to cut it a little short. You guys see how that white is peeking out right there? Because I want to show you guys something. Sometimes when you cut, with a project block, maybe the piece that you're working with, I probably cut that a little bit too much, but we'll see. The piece that you have is a little bit shorter than the piece you're going to be covering, and you're worrying about that. But you can kind of cheat because we know that the paper stretches, right? So we're going to take advantage of that stretching, and we're going to use it to our advantage because as it stretches and we pull it up, we're actually going to be able to cover up that spot even though the paper is a little bit short. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I call my anchor row, right? I'm going to get this anchored down. The reason why I like to focus on getting it anchored down is so that the paper doesn't like twist and shift and end up all whopper jawed on my piece. I want it to be straight, right? Because if I tilt it, like shift it this way or this way, I could end up not having enough to color. So I'm going to get my anchor row started and get that smoothed down. I could use my felt covered spatula if I wanted to smooth that out, and that would absolutely work, although I got product on there. Or I could just use a piece of saran wrap. Either one works fine. Usually though, if I have an uneven surface, like a surface that has texture, I prefer the saran wrap because this spatula is only going to go over the top. Let me move over to the middle of the screen.
Colleen Kolbialka, we got rid of the penny. That's a smart move. I wish we could. Of course, we get all your pennies. It drives every retailer nuts down here because the banks won't take the Canadian. I'm assuming, well, I don't know. Do Canada banks take the American pennies and nickels?
Why would they?
I don't know. I know American banks don't take Canadian. Colleen also says do the flame method.
Oh no, I'm too scary, girl. Because I think about all the stuff I have in my shed that's flammable, and that just makes me sweat thinking about that. But I am going to spritz my paper, you guys. Now that I have it, like my my I know that my paper isn't going to shift or anything, and I know it's down. I'm going to go ahead and spritz my paper a little bit to help me to stretch that paper as I go. And it's going to keep me from getting wrinkles, although maybe not, because maybe I should have spritzed that too. And we'll see what happens.
Cheryl Bolin Atkinson says, your voice sounds different on Facebook than on YouTube. Oh. I will say the image is different. YouTube is much clearer.
Yeah.
So maybe the sound, YouTube might be, I don't know.
Yo no sé.
I don't know.
I know my voice is a little deeper today than usual. Because of the grandbaby. Laura
Taylor, where can we get the paper? At your favorite Roycycled retailer.
Yes.
And you can find the list of retailers at roycycledtreasures.com.
And if you're a retailer and you're on tonight, please drop your links in the comments so that customers know where to find you.
You're welcome, Michelle. I pronounced her last name properly. I'm going to screw it up the next time, so I'm not going to try it. I just got lucky.
You got lucky that one time.
Oh, absolutely. And Felicia Brown, did you add the metal piece at the top?
I didn't. That was already on there, Felicia. I think that it was meant to hang like your chopping board up in your kitchen so you always know where it is. I'm assuming that's what it's there for. But it's super cute, right? But if you just got the chopping boards from Dollar Tree, you could just put a little D-hook on the back so that you could hang it up. Or you could put little handles. We'll talk about options in a minute. Look at Felicia. You making my mind jump around. I'm trying to stay focused.
Billy Keir, I'm too scared for the flame method too. I didn't like doing it at all.
You know why I don't like it? Because when I look around my shop, I have so much stuff that's flammable. This Pixie spray, as crafters, I don't think we think about the things that we have in our space. This is in a pressured can, right? So this is highly flammable. I have wax in here that's highly flammable. And so I just don't like the idea of working with flames because I love my little she shed and I don't want to burn it down.
I'd rather we didn't.
And girl, I cannot even deal with like a heat gun. Y'all notice I have my little craft dryer because if I had a heat gun, I'd be causing problems.
And Laura Del Prado, yes, we'll put links once the live is over for the replay. There'll be links and all that stuff pinned to it.
Yes. And I cut mine a little too short. Even though it's going to almost cover it, it's not going to quite cover it. Well, heck.
Pamela Culp Adair, I do all my burning outside.
Very smart, Pamela. I guess if I was going to do it, I would do it outdoors. But no, I haven't done it. And I didn't stretch my paper. My paper didn't stretch quite enough to cover my edge. But if your paper is just like 1/8 of an inch too short, you can usually stretch it to accommodate for that. And even though I have this right here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm still going to cheat. And I'm just going to add a piece there and nobody will ever know. Nobody will know. Or I could go around my edges with a piece of molding too. Ooh, that wind is kicking up out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to dry this really quick so I can trim it. Some people trim their paper when it's wet. I prefer to trim it when it's dry. I feel like I get a cleaner trim, but you can do it either way. It's just, whatever your preference is.
Kim Sprato, retailer in Jersey. Here's her website. She said, what type of link should a retailer post? I tried to post my website and I think it kicked out. It looks good to me.
Oh, okay. It looks good to you on this side?
Yeah.
I would prefer you guys put your website so that the customers just click through and go straight to your site, as opposed to your Facebook page where they have to go to your page, find your website, click through again, So
she put her website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so sorry I'm so sniffly because I know what it sounds like on the mic. It just probably so irritating. I'm sorry.
All right, you are at an hour 10.
Bam, baby.
Just letting you know.
He didn't think I could do it. When I said 3 projects, he gave me the side eye, y'all.
We usually don't finish one.
I know usually there's a lot of steps though.
Yeah.
So I was very purposeful in the descriptions. I said quick and easy. Quick and easy. Those are the key words, right?
And these really are designed for family time. They're or friends, family and friend time.
Family and friend time, absolutely. And of course, this is the quick and easy version. Like we all know, we crafters, we can, we can zhuzh these some more. Like this one, I have time too. So we're gonna do a little bit more to it. So after it's dry, I'm just gonna use, and this is probably like, at this point, it's probably a 300, but a 220 would be better.
So I'm sitting there thinking American Thanksgiving is coming up shortly.
Well, Canada already had their Thanksgiving, right?
Canada just had theirs.
Yeah.
But usually you have friends and family over.
Yes.
You're looking for something to do in the evening after the meal. This is perfect because you're leading into Christmas.
Yeah. If you're smart, you can have the kids help you make your ornaments. No, I'm just kidding. Mm-hmm. And so we've used this piece of paper. What did we do last week? Oh yeah, so just because I'm using the same piece of paper I used last week, you guys. So last week,
the deer was fabric.
Oh, the bag.
Right here.
Oh, so last week, we're still using the same piece of paper. Last week we started this project, right, with the globe stencil, right? The Roycycled globe stencil, and this piece was off of this paper. And we've done the purse off of this paper, right? And this is actually the third project that we've done off of this paper. And we still have like...
And this is the Christmas block?
Yeah, this is the Christmas masterboard, actually.
Masterboard, excuse me.
And we still have a lot of pieces left that we can make even more projects. So that's the cool thing about the project blocks or the masterboards, is that you really can do multiple projects with one piece of paper.
I just had a friend pop on, Maureen Harshman from Lake Havasu.
Hi, Maureen.
We do Roxy. We love Roxy.
Oh, hey, Roxy.
These are projects that you can do with Roxy.
Yes.
Maureen. So.
And so just a quick seal on this one. And again, I believe this is Wiseau's 1-hour enamel that I'm using, but if you have Wiseau varnish, if you have another paint line and you have the clear coat on your craft desk already, on your craft table, you guys use that. You guys know how I feel about it. I'm not going to tell you that only the things that I use are going to work, right? So use the clear coat that you have on your craft table already. And if you have Mod Podge, that's fine too. And so we've sealed it, and now we're like good to go. So now I have this really cute little sign that I can hang. This one happened to have this little thing on the edge when I got it at the thrift store. But if it didn't, I could just put a D hook on the back and I could hang it just as easily, right? I do want to dry this because I want to add a little bit of a little something.
Carmen Dowmer says, but I don't have any family who will do crafts and no friends.
Oh, Carmen, you have friends. They just don't live over there.
You make that family do the crafts.
I know. Carmen, I bet you if you said that you're going to be doing crafts in your shop, people would drive out there to do crafts with you. I know they would. I know they would. And these are cool things that you can just do for yourself too. Because Lord knows, some nights I just have to just pull out my supplies and make something. Although Carmen has me messing with cardboard every night now. It's all your fault, Carmen. And so I'm just doing it so it's dry to touch before I do anything else. But I do want to add a little bit of, you guys know I want to grunge this up a little bit. So I'm going to be using my little dauber from Tim Holtz. And do I have ink on my, oh man, I think I took it in the house. David's probably like, that's what you get for crafting in the house. Now you don't have what you need. Well, heck. I have ink though. So I don't have my ink pad, but I do have some ink. So I'm going to put some black ink on my little paper plate. I'm sorry, I'm out of the shot. I'm just putting a little bit of ink on the dry part of my little paper plate here. So this is IOD Iron Orchid Design in black, and then this is turmeric, which the color is literally just, it's turmeric. It's a perfect description of the color. It's like a mustardy yellow. And I'm actually gonna mix it with my dauber.
So is this the fancying that you are doing?
The fancy, well, I'm gonna grunge it up a little bit. I don't know about fancying.
Because Cheryl Bolin Atkinson says, how would you fancy them up?
I mean, you could, so like, what if you took like your fine liner, like I have one here with gold paint in here. And I know that there's a brand, I can't think of the name of the brand, that a lot of the retailers carry, that they have like fine liners. And I could go through and just, you know, maybe follow a detail on here and add some gold on here, you know. Or maybe I could go in with some glass bead gel or some, what is this stuff called? Some diamond dust, right? And add some diamond dust on there. You could do all kinds of stuff to fancy it up. I could put transfers over the top of this. Sorry, that was a little too heavy.
All right, so we have a question that I think I can answer.
Okay.
Melissa Paget says, what about decoupaging candles?
Yes.
I would think you wouldn't want to, because ultimately it's a paper.
So.
And it's going to burn down unless these are candles that'll never be burned.
Yeah, if they're decorative, actually, Melissa, you don't even have to decoupage them. All you have to do, you can take your, so I wish I had a candle here to show you real quick. If it's a wax candle, you can take your wax candle and you can just wrap the paper around it and take like your craft dryer and just heat it up, and it will adhere to the melted wax on the candle. It's super cool. So you don't even have to decoupage it. If you're using like fake candles, you guys know the ones that I like to use, honestly, the ones that aren't real, they're just like lights in them, then you'd have to decoupage it. But those are really pretty too when they're decoupaged. But yes, that would be a super cool project, because you could go to the Dollar Tree and buy candles, right?
I would be afraid of somebody burning them, though.
You just got to tell them, don't burn them.
I know, but we tell kids a lot of things that they don't listen to.
Well, I guess if you're working with the kids and they're making gift for mom, we will use fake candles to make David feel better.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, the candle will burn in the middle. It really wouldn't burn the paper, but the paper could fold in as the candle burns down.
Your concern is legitimate, baby. It is. I'm just messing with you. I'm giving you a hard time.
But I could see that being really cool looking.
Yes.
As a decorative piece.
Yes. Actually, they're really pretty.
Yeah.
And you guys know I love grunge, so I'm grunging this up. But if you liked pretty stuff, of course, you could do that. This is bothering me now. I squeezed that on there. I don't like it. I'm gonna wipe it off.
Colleen says Pent Art Contour Liners.
Thank you, Colleen. I knew there was something. I just couldn't remember the name of it. I'm gonna wipe that off though, because I didn't like it on there. But I could even put transfers on top of this if I wanted, right? Because once you get your decoupage paper down and you seal it, it's a surface like any other surface. So you can go over it with paint, with glazes, with transfers. Honestly, I could go over this with another piece of decoupage if I wanted, and it would almost virtually disappear. So I should do that real quick. How much time do I have? I have time.
You have 12 minutes.
So while I'm showing you guys how to decoupage, so this piece I've already cut, but this really cool stamp is right here. So I'm going to use that.
God bless you.
Excuse me.
That's 2.
I know. So I'm going to rough cut this really quickly. Now, the one thing I will say is, if I wanted this stamp to really stand out, I would just cut it. And it would just be really sharp and it would stand out. If I wanted to...
And 3, God bless you.
Thank you. If I want it to really blend in, I'm going to use the water method, which is literally just drawing a line on here and then when you go to pull your paper away, it's going to pull away right where you drew the line. So it's like a controlled tear, if you would. And you guys know what? These are just a few tips. If you guys are interested in learning more about decoupage, I do have a decoupage boot camp available at Roycycled Academy. I should put a link for that, is what I should do. And I believe I have somebody who is taking the course right now. I'm sorry, I forget who it is. But seriously, I go over everything like super in depth. Everything that we do on the lives is pretty high level as far as when I'm teaching things. But when I teach in my courses, I don't just talk, it's in depth, and I actually, demonstrate everything that we learn. And so I'm going to pull you guys in a little bit tighter. Whoops, wrong way.
Debbie Fiki says, bless you.
Thank you, Debbie.
We had somebody earlier ask, and I didn't bring it up, but just to let you know, they asked, how did we meet? We've gone over that story a couple times. We'll save that for a little further down the road because you guys are tired of hearing it. and we had 3 projects today. So.
Yes. So I'm going to put this over the top. I could put it over here. So there's a couple of things, and you know what? I'm going to just do it this way, because the other way is a whole nother thing. So I'm going to put it right here, right over the top of my project. I know that any strong lines underneath it are going to show through the paper as it becomes transparent, but I'm okay with that. That's going to drive me crazy. That's not good placement. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying not to care, but I can't. My mind is like, that's not balanced. That's not balanced. That's not balanced. But it's okay. I'm going to just put it. But you can decoupage over your decoupage. And because it's tissue paper, like you really cannot tell. Whoops, let me find the camera. You really cannot tell that I decoupaged on top of decoupage. And so if you have, you know how sometimes there'll be a design and you can't figure out how to place it on your piece because there's something that you want to keep at the top. And if you pull it this way, it'll be on, but something else won't be off. You can always cut it out and come back and decoupage over the top, just so you guys know that. So yes, you can decoupage on your decoupage. And if I wanted, I could absolutely put molds on top of this. I could put transfers. I could put diamond dust. I could use a fine liner to outline some of the details on here. So there's still room to go in and do more on these. We're just doing the very basics today. I am super excited about what I have for my insiders. So for my Roycycled insiders, I know I did not send out an email this week. I'm sorry. It's been a week. It's been a week and I didn't get an email out, but I have created something for you guys for the month of October. So for those of you who signed up to be an insider, you guys have already received the not index, what do you call it when you have like a list of definition, a glossary, thank you. You received my glossary of crafting terms, right? And I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I know sometimes when you're new to the niche and are you new to coming and watching videos, a lot of us are using different terms and we're talking about different products and you may not have like context for a lot of it, and so you feel like you're missing a lot of the information. So that glossary can be really helpful. So when you first join to be a Roycycled insider, that is something that you get. Let's see, the first month I made, oh Lord, what did I make? Last month I made 5 ways to make crafting easier. And I gave you guys examples of things that you could buy to make your crafting easier. And the month before that, what was it, babe? Do you remember?
I don't.
Do you guys remember what was it? Oh, that's bad. Anyways, this month's resource. So if you join Roycycled Insiders, if you're interested in joining, you can put a hashtag insider and you'll get a message telling you how to do that. But as an insider, I make a resource for you guys every month that I send out. And whenever we're dropping anything new or there are any announcements, my insiders find out before anybody else. So before I put it on any of the social media platforms, it goes out in an email to my insiders. But this month, and I meant to print it out to show it you guys, I'm super excited. I have 6 minutes. Okay.
I don't.
So
I got to the restroom.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can. It's a really quick story because I want to make sure, you know how I am about giving. I cannot just, so there is, Surface Anthology, I think is the name of her page. It's Surface Anthology. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. If I say it wrong, I'm going to put it right on my page. I love watching her. She is in either Maine or Manhattan, somewhere over there. She makes gorgeous stuff. I love watching her. But she was having a conversation, and one of the things she said was, if you hear like a quote or something that resonates with you, to write it in your like design journal. And I thought, oh, that would be really cool to have a design journal, or to have a note or a place where you could put notes when you have ideas or when you see something that inspires you. I don't know about you guys, but my brain always has 5 tracks going at the same time. And a lot of times I have like really good ideas, but if I do not write them down in that moment, they are gone, like never to be seen again. So I created some journal pages for you guys. And so I have one, and I did 3 different styles, and I wrote them because I feel like the reason why you guys love hanging out with us in my hot messness is because your mind works a lot like mine. So creatives have a tendency to see things differently than the rest of the world, right? So I created these journal pages specifically for our brains. The first one is just like a brain dump. So you guys know how sometimes you'll have an idea and it's not even fully realized. It is almost just like a feeling of an idea. And so you can like jot down some doodles or jot down notes. It isn't really formulated really good, but you want to get it written down. So one page is like a brain dump. And then the second page is more like if you have something that's a little bit more formulated and you have colors in mind or products that you may need, or, you know, ways that you're going to approach it. And so it's segmented so that you can jot them down super easy, right? And just get them down, so you don't have to write it out perfectly. And the way that I have the pages made is seriously, it's like you're just jotting it down. And then the third page, because sometimes we do have like really genius ideas and we have the whole thing figured out, right? It's for those times. And so there are spaces on that page for you to write down like all the things that you need, whether it's a project for you and your family to do during the holidays, or it's a make and take idea you have for your shop to have during the holidays, like on Small Business Saturday. Maybe you want to have make and takes in your shop to get people to get foot traffic in the door. Or if you just have ideas of things that you can create, maybe it's a color. I get inspired by weird things. We were driving to New Mexico and we saw these big old turbines, and you guys, they were beautiful. They were like red and rusty and white, and I'm like trying to catch a picture of these weird turbines. So you guys know that we're inspired by like stuff, right? And so this is just a way for you guys to get the information down. There are only 3 types of pages, but you guys can print them out like as many times as you want, right? And you can either put them in a binder or just print them out and have them loose if that works for you. But I do have that. So if you are not an insider, make sure you put #insider so that you guys can get that message, so that you guys can sign up, because I'm going to be sending that email out probably Tuesday or Wednesday with this month's resource. And I'm like super excited about it because it was completely inspired. Like this is not what I planned to give you guys this month, but I was inspired by that conversation and I just went in and I created it. I showed it to Lexi and she was super excited about it. So if you want to be an insider, be sure and put #insider and I'll get that information to you. If you're not getting alerts from Facebook or YouTube that we're going live, I do send out alerts via a text. So you guys can text hello, or actually you can put #text and you'll get that message, how to sign up for that. Right. And I think that's it.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Felicia Brown, what is this fine liner? I need that. It is called Pentart. Yes. Contour liners. I don't believe you have that in your Amazon shop yet.
No, I don't have that. Retailers have that. If you're a retailer who has Pentart, if you guys will drop a link for her so that she can find that.
Yeah, Felicia's on YouTube when she asked that. So
okay.
Sandra Lomas on YouTube at Pinners. Does it cost a fee to do the projects at each vendor booth?
Yes. So it depends on the vendor, honestly. Some of the larger vendors, they do free stuff. The smaller vendors, we really can't afford to do that. So for me, what you're paying for is the materials, right? Because you're going to get this purse, and you're gonna get paper, and you're gonna get the fabric Mod Podge, and you're gonna get varnish, and you're gonna get paint. I mean, so you're paying for your supplies to make the projects.
To do half of it, and then
and
then the rest you take home.
You take home to do the rest.
Right.
And so it really depends. For the larger vendors, some of them don't charge. But so it varies from vendor to vendor. And for the classes, because in addition to like the stuff that people do in their booths, there are organized classes that are going on all day. And it's my understanding that you can attend any class for free, but some of the people do charge a materials fee if you want to actually get a kit. So I would encourage you, by the way, if you really want to attend a class, to go online and register. There are tons of classes, so when you go online, you may be overwhelmed and you may not want to choose. But if you find a class and you're like really want to take it, I encourage you to sign up online, because if you try to sign up that day, chances are the classes are full already, especially if there's materials. Because like for my class, I only have 200 kits available. So if we sell out before we go and you come on the day of, then
you can watch.
Yeah, you can watch, but
you can't participate.
Yeah. And so if you guys choose to register online, you can use Roycycled 10 and you can get 10% off your purchase too. Just FYI.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, what is the red thing on the edge originally? I think of our most recent project.
It's actually like a wax seal. You guys know how the letters, they used to seal them with the little wax. So that's what it is. I gotta find my camera. So that's what that is right there. And you can't really tell on the camera, but you can see more of the details on the actual paper.
Joellen McCartney, if you use Deco on top of Deco, can you put white paint on the back before putting it on the other Deco?
You can. And so that's what I was going to demonstrate really quickly, but we've already done so much tonight. What did I do just recently, babe, where I did that?
You did. There was a project where you painted the...
Because what I generally do is I'll do...
I think it was that one.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, that's right. You decoupaged around the globe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have done that, and I've demonstrated in several videos how to do that. What I generally do is I use a 50-50 of paint and my clear coat to decoupage when I do that.
Is there a fee to be an insider?
There's no fee. It's absolutely free. You just agree to receive emails from me. I try to send emails out once a week. I'm not always successful, but I have insiders. Hopefully they agree with me. I think that my emails are valuable. I like to send you guys cool stuff, whether it's information. The last email, week before last, that I sent out, I did my new blog article where I just showed you guys a bunch of ways to upcycle what other people consider junk. And I kind of showed you cool ways that I use it in my house. So it varies from week to week.
Last two questions. Sandy Holtzmuller, can we sign up again for insiders? I had a big problem with my email. It was all erased.
Yeah, absolutely. Just put #insiders, click the link, and go in and put whatever email that you want to use, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I do get some emails that don't go through. So make sure that your email, if you've signed up and you haven't received emails, sign up again, because sometimes you guys will put like yahoo.com, like CON instead of COM, or you'll put Gmail instead of Gmail, or like it's a little bit typos. And if it's not perfect, the system's going to send it to exactly that email that you put it in there.
And the last one is from Cheryl Boland Atkinson. Can you hold up the purses again, please?
Yes. So this was the little purse that we did together today. Super fun. And look I can squish it up in a ball, and I can take it apart, and it's still like good to go. We didn't do the back, but you could do the back, right? And then this one is more of like a raffia texture. This is the one that I'm going to be doing at Pinners. And this one I use the traditional decoupage method. Like we have a dozen people at a time at our make and takes, and you have an hour. So we'll be using the traditional. So this one I made using the traditional decoupage method, right? I didn't iron this one on. But this one on the canvas was easier to iron on because it's flat too. So, but these are the two that I made.
And lastly, we have to pick some winners.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. So let's do the stencil first. Is it over there, babe?
The stencil? No, I do not have the stencil.
Okay. I have names in my bag and my little thingy. And so these are the people who posted Christmas projects Sandra Grandy is my first one, and that's for the stencil. Let me write a note so I will remember. I always think I'm going to remember, y'all. So this is for the stencil. Congratulations, Sandra. And then the next one is a 5-pack of Christmas decoupage paper. There'll be different ones. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. You never know. Tamara Mays. A 5-pack of Christmas decoupage paper. So I'm going to write 5-pack on there so I remember. And you guys do me a favor. If you won, be sure and send me. I'll put the names in the actual post too. But if you're on tonight, be sure and message me your address. If you guys know them, if you guys will tag them for me. And then our third winner is Shirley Schneider. Is a 5-pack, another 5-pack of Roycycled Christmas decoupage paper. So this was my first one. And honestly, I wanted to kind of get a gauge of how many of you guys actually have the Christmas decoupage paper. So there weren't a ton of people that used the new paper. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait like a month and then we're going to do this again. So you guys get your paper and get your projects ready so that you can post and you can have a chance to win next month again for Christmas projects. And I think that's all we have tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I enjoy the opportunity to come in here and create because during the week, like last week, this week, I haven't spent a minute in my shop. So I get to come and hang out with you guys, have fun and make stuff. We got through 3 projects tonight.
You should be proud.
I am. I'm very proud. But you guys have a blessed week. You guys remember, there isn't anything that I've done here today that you cannot absolutely do. You guys can do this. You can do it.